Hello, everyone. Hi, Ali. Hi, Jonathan. Hi, Gladness. Hi, Joshua. Hi, Justin. Wow, so many people joining. Karibuni.
Yeah.
Karibuni.
Karibuni sana. Ramadhani, Ali, Amos, welcome all.
Okay, so we're just gonna give in like 5 minutes for a few more people to join us. So far, a huge number of people is already joining the session. If you have friends, people you know that were planning to join this session, please text them, remind them, tell them that the time is now and we are all set up and ready to kick off our very first virtual Empower Academy. So karibuni sana, those that are joining. Yes, hi Ramadhani Suleiman, I see you raising your hand. We're waving back. Karibu sana. We have Jonathan Hiza, we have Halima Abdallah, Coleman Koroso, Amosi Ngavo, Amos Samia, Adeline Makule, Marina Katanga. Thank you so much for joining us. This is going to be fun. I guarantee a lot of fun and a lot of key and relevant information that you need as a young professional in this, in this growing, in this fast changing world, in the corporate world, in everything that in the world that we live in. It's the right place for you to actually be here. And thank you for setting aside your time for you to join us. So we're still having people joining. I'll give it another minute for more people to join us.
For sure, we see already the chat is getting exciting. So we see Joanna saying this is gonna be so exciting. Great, kabisa. Joshua, hello, ready for the future? Are you ready for the future?
I am ready for the future.
Great.
That's why I'm here.
Gladness saying hello, excited for this. Yeah, for sure. We are really excited. And the attendance is actually getting full. You can see
it's getting bigger 44. And bigger. Yeah. Yep, it's getting bigger and bigger. So if you have any question, if you have anything you want to say, you want to give a shout out to anyone in the room, please drop your comment on the chat box. At the very bottom of your screen, there is a chat icon. Click that chat icon and drop in your comments. We are ready and excited to host you and be with you in this virtual room, in this virtual session. Okay, we have Chichi joining, we have Daniel Mwemba joining,
welcome.
Edward James, Karibuni. We haven't started, we're just warming up the room, so don't worry, you haven't missed it on anything.
A bit full of fire.
Yes.
Marina just texted saying we are ready for you, Idris. I think also Idris is also ready for you too. Amazing.
I think as we wait for more people to join us, just drop in the chat box. What's the first word that comes to your mind when you hear the name Idris Sultan? Just type it in the chat box. Tell us what you think the first word, what first word comes to your mind when you hear the name Idris Sultan. So tell us what you think of him, and we'll be happy to share this feedback with him because he's already joined us and he will be getting real feedback.
Joseph Muganga just texted comedian. Okay. That's the first word that comes. Lightness, Big Brother Africa.
Okay.
Ramadan, intellectual on money making. Okay. Lucy, Mchuchu, handsome boy. Okay. Okay, Gladness funny. Okay. Said, creative, zero to hero. Big Brother Africa.
Nice.
Justin, smart mind. Okay. Mariam, funny, crazy, but smart. Okay. Ramadan, apart from comedy. And also someone just said his hat. So
something about his hat.
The yellow hat.
The yellow hat. Awesome.
BSS host, Ali said. Jennifer Kimeumana. Things have eaten each other. Funny guy. Jonathan, very optimistic guy. Joanna, go get goal getter. Yeah.
Awesome. So guys, karibuni sana. I think we have a list enough for us to start, enough number of attendees. Welcome to our very first virtual Empower Academy. For those who are used to this event, we usually host it physically, but due to certain constraints, we are forced to do it virtually. However, you will be seeing our faces and meeting us in person very soon. So I am excited to host you all. My name is Nancy Mbogor. I am Senior Coordinator Engagement here at Empower, and I have Mr. Energizer here with me.
Yeah, I'm Pius Prosper, and I'm the coordinator for team building and events.
Exactly, the right person to energize the room.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are hearing the word empower for the first time, I would like to just give a little intro of who we are and what we do. And of course, while we're doing this, please continue flooding our chat box with your comments, with questions and anything. We would like to know how you're feeling, how you are. Please tell us your name. Of course, we can see your name. Tell us where you're coming from. Tell us what you do and what company you're working for. We are happy to connect with you. So just leave those comments in the chat box. It's just right there down at the bottom of your screen. There's an icon with a chat box. Drop and keep them coming. We'll be happy to read them out. Yeah. So Empower is a disruptive Tanzanian consulting firm that passionately provides talent, advisory, and insight services across the African continent. Our superpower is the ability to unite, excite, and nurture people for collective growth. And Empower was founded in 2009, and our commitment is to excellence and creatively is fueled by our creativity to grow. So we've been growing over the years due to our commitment and our excellency in what we do, in the services that we offer. But also we have a reputation for adding significant value to companies and individuals. We give talented candidates from the graduate level, this is the university level, to the C-suite positions. We create bespoke learning and development programs to boost employee engagement, but also we gather and analyze data, accurate data to guide companies' strategies, or by arming the next generation with employability and entrepreneurial skills to thrive in Africa. So if you know, if you're a graduate and you're in this room, I would like to give a shout out to all university graduates from the University of Islam. I'm sure you are aware of our program that's currently going on, Generation Empower. So Generation Empower is a program that we're currently running to support young people in the final year, to empower them with the right 21st century skills in order for them to stay relevant, stay up to date, and become employable. Once they're out of the university, they can kick off and be ready to start their career journeys. So we're very excited. Karibuni sana. Empower Academy is a platform where we meet and talk and interact with different people from different backgrounds, and we meet. We usually host different professionals as guest speakers to share their experience, to share their knowledge, using their background, to engage with the growth-minded community. So karibuni sana. I know all of you in here are eager to learn and hear from Idris. I don't want to waste your time, but before we do that, do we have any interesting comments in the chat box?
Yeah. So should we start a bit more far? Or
let's just do whatever we can find.
Okay. Yeah. This amazing comment. Someone just said, you guys seem to be a good couple. Kidding. Okay, let's just pass that one.
Let's just ignore.
Yeah, so someone just said, make sure your questions are hard enough for her. So we believe
this is Idris. Idris says, make sure your questions are.
Okay, this is.
Yes, your questions are hard enough. Yes. Are you guys ready? Just have your questions ready.
And also Innocent Grant just texted saying, Idris is to 4K. Jiandae kwa maswali nondo. Okay. So get ready, Idris.
Sawa.
And yeah, GNM Own Your Future, which is one of our amazing programs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sawa. So to kick off before we start talking about anything and we bring in Idris to the screen for him to start talking, I would like Mr. Energizer to energize us, because you've already thrown in lots of comments and lots of engagement going on in the chat box. Now, there's an activity that Pius has prepared for us. Let's all be active, let's engage, let's shoot in, and I don't want to say much, let him take over and do his thing.
Great, okay, so welcome all, Yamani karibuni sana. So as Nancy said, so before we start, with hard content from Idris, it's important not to tweak kidogo our minds, tujiandae kidogo. Sasa we'll start with an amazing energizer. So before that, how do you feel? So please type in the chat box of how you feel this afternoon, and we begin to read. And also, so hope we are also receiving texts. So how do you feel? Please text on the chat box, text on the chat. Okay, wonderful feeling. Someone just said hungry, amazing, Make the chat box full of excitement and energy. Great, so.
Yes. Someone says they feel hungry, others say awesome, expectant. This is from Lightness, excited for sure by John Simon. Teresa says, wow, so many comments. Teresa said it's too hot outside, Pole sana. Chichi says unproductive, okay. Jennifer says exhausted, Pole. Innocent says, I feel curious vile, japo kuchoka kidogo, nimetoka kuswam Pambagala.
Oh.
Sawa. So many, continue please.
So great, so I actually, one of the comment that's actually just got me is the one that said, I feel unproductive. I believe after this person will feel actually productive.
Yeah.
So great. So Jamant, to proceed. So our energizer for today is called Letters Game. So a letter will be displayed on your screen. And what you'll be supposed to do is you have 10 seconds to think of that specific letter in the following: city, name, name of a person, animal, and object. So for example, letter D, for example, so you have to say Dodoma, this is a city, donkey, animal, derrick, name of a person, and drum, which is the object. And the first person to type their answer with the correct spelling wins. So Nancy here will be the auditor for today, and we'll be checking.
I'll be reading your comments. The first person walks away with something, a virtual award.
So are we ready? So let's see. So if you're ready, please type in the chat box. Ready, we start. Great. So our first letter is E. Let's do this.
Yes.
E, remember, name of the city, animal, name of the person, and object.
Okay, letter E, we have Joseph Mganga who says Eric. Musa says elephant. Teresa says eagle.
If you can combine your answer
Joshua
with all
says
the four
Entebbe,
elements.
elephant, Eric, egg. Miranda, England, elephant, egg, Elizabeth.
So,
Chris, wow.
So who's the first winner? So let's
I'm just gonna look at our first winner. Our very first winner to give all the four.
I think it'd be this
yes, all the four words is Joshua, and he says Entebbe, elephant, Eric, egg. Followed by Miranda, Eric. He says England, elephant. She says England, elephant, egg, and Elizabeth.
Great. Drum rolls to all of you.
Lastly, we should have a third winner to make it fair. We have Edgar Bubera, and he says England, elephant, Edgar, envelope.
Great. So we're moving to the next letter, please. P.
Letter P.
Yeah, hey. You can even say Pius. No worries. Okay, let's do chop. We are checking. Our auditor is viewing. P.
Letter P.
P for the city, name of the person, animal, and object.
All right, we have our first person, and this is Joshua again. Portugal, Papo, Po, pipe.
Okay.
Papo. Okay, Papo the color? What is Papo?
Papo
no,
is the name of the person.
Disqualified.
Okay, this is just for sure.
What is Papo?
Papo, no. Let's
okay, and then we have Abdulmajid Mustafa. He says Paris, Panda, Patrick, Pen. I think he's our winner.
Oh, great. And the second person?
The second person, we have Samira Lozi, and she says Paris, Paula, Pot, and Pig. Awesome. We have Lloyd Leslie, and he says Paris, Pig, Puce, Paper.
Great. At least you actually mentioned my name. So great. So we're moving to the next.
Wow, so many.
R.
Letter R.
Let's do this. R. Remember, city, name of the person, object.
They should all be in one sentence.
Yes, kabisa. You already have someone?
Not yet. I only have Aidan who gave out one letter, and that's Rome. Okay, Joshua again. We have Wanda, Rebecca, Rat, and Robe.
Okay, I think today we'll be taking the throne.
He will be living with the throne. We have Lightness, Rome, Robin, Rat, and Rice. We have Edgar Bubera, Rio de Janeiro,
Okay.
Raj, Rabia, Rocket.
Rocket.
And Lloyd, Rotterdam, Roger, Rhino, Rose.
Okay.
Max says Randy, Rice, Rat, Rio.
Wow.
And
great.
lastly, Rebecca Joseph says Rovuma, Rebecca, Rob, Rhino.
Great.
I think this is a great warm-up.
Wow, we really have smart people in here. Okay,
Very
great.
smart.
Let's go to O. O. Remember, you have a few seconds. O. O.
Matthias says OMG.
Someone already.
Okay, we have all right. We have Lightness, and she's no. Lightness is not the first one. Said Mpinga. He says Oscar, Oman, Ostrich, Olive. We have our winner. Lightness says Oliver, Ostrich, Olive, Olympia. Priska, Michael, Orlando, Onesmo, Octopus, Onion. And we have Edgar, Ontario, Ox, Olivia, Oliva, Onion. Max says Ottawa, Owen, all orange.
So far our top three are, I think it's Joshua.
We have this person also.
Okay, great. Okay, no problem. You just
we're gonna compile the answers.
Okay, our next S. What about S? Name of the person, city, animal, and object.
Okay, someone's asking what's going on. We'll explain once the game is over. Okay, letter S. Said Mapinga. Mpinga says Said Singida Swala Sa. Thank you. Idris says Joshua is the winner. Okay. From Wangida. Samia Somali Samosa. Chichi says Samira Squirrel, South Carolina. Lucy says sun, soil, sea. Matthias, Singida, Sungura, Sahani, Said. These are funny names. Woo, okay, Sawa. I think we've done it all. Yeah. We should leave this towards the end. We've done it all so that we can have enough time with Idris for him to share his views and to discuss the topic with us. Let's end the session with the energizer here so we can have enough time with Idris. But we have Sylvia who says, I feel great to be here. Hey, Pius, a Loyalite, and Nancy, a Franciscan. Hello.
Hello. Okay, great. We are back.
We're back. And so for those of you, I know all of you know why we're here. In this Empower Academy, we aim to talk about jobs of the future. We all know we live in a world where there is fast advancements in science and technology. And every single day we wake up to new innovation, to new tech, to new gadgets, new ways of thinking, new ways of doing things. And all this in one way or another affects the way we work, the way we produce things, and alternatively, this also affects the kind of work we are going to do, or the work that we're doing right now. The jobs we are currently having are likely to also evolve alongside these advancements in science and technology. So it's likely that most of the jobs that we currently have right now might be replaced or could be replaced in the near future. And the near future that I'm talking about could be 5 years, 10 years. There are jobs that are no longer existing right now because someone invented a typewriter, because someone invented a computer, because someone invented a calculator. So I think it's important for us as young professionals to stay ahead of the curve and discuss ways in which we can be best prepared. Ways in which we can be aware of this change, of this new wave of change, and learn what we should do, what we should not do, and what we should expect with this new wave of technological advancements that's going to create something we call jobs of the future. So it's going to be a very interactive discussion. If you have a question, please, there's also a Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen. Please drop your question and we will shoot it to either Idris, or we'll discuss it all together in here, or you can drop a comment on the chat box and we will be able to also share that and discuss it together here. So without wasting any further time, we have Mr. Idris Sultan. I know most of you already know him from, in different ways, but here with us today, he's joined us as a young professional, as a young person who is working, who is, career-driven. We all see the work he does, and he is the CEO and an actor. He's the CEO and founder of Locomotions, but also an actor. We've seen his work, we've seen his projects. So we've invited him to help us discuss or break this topic down as a fellow young professional, to brainstorm together the direction we are taking towards these jobs of the future. How should we as young professionals be best prepared? What we should expect? What opportunities are out there? So Idris, karibu sana. And if you have any questions specifically for Idris, please shoot them in the comment section or in the Q&A section, and Idris will be happy to take them. So I don't want to waste more time by talking. Idris, please take over, and the floor is yours.
Hi. How's everybody? Hi, Pius. Hi, Nancy.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, everybody listening, attendees, protocol reserved, I should say. To everybody in Empower is actually listening as well. I'm saying hi to you. I believe you're saying hi back. So it's been a fun game with everything. I was listening pretty much clearly. I've been playing the game with myself in my mind, and I might have won maybe twice, not much. And I like that there's a lot of smart people. I'm in the game. I'm going to do a little bit of code mixing sometimes. If I'm not going to find a word in English, I'm just going to do it in Swahili regardless. And I quite understand that that should be all right with most of the attendees. So I will allow questions which will definitely take me to say what I prepared to say. Well, I wouldn't say even prepared, it's simply what I already know of what I know. I didn't have to study much about it because pretty much I am a bookworm, so I do study every day. That is as much as a nice thing, it is a bad thing because I acquire too much information. Maybe I don't need it sometimes, or maybe you wouldn't know if I would need it later in the day. So with everything that's happening, I would say to start with jobs of the future, two things have literally changed everything for everyone in terms of career paths and all that and whatnot, where some things are not careers, some things are just how you earn money, could not be a career. I wouldn't say if you're a street vendor, you'd call that a career, or maybe you might call it a entrepreneurship in a locally mobilized manner. But still, I would say two things which have changed everything is climate change, one, and the second one, I would say industrial revolution. So for those who do not know what industrial revolution, I would say there's 4 industrial revolutions. Some people might argue that there are 3. I quite understand. The debate is quite enormous on that part. But the industrial revolutions, the word itself already explains itself. Industry revolutionized in a different way. The industry might have been, what is that thing when you disrupted? Maybe it was a disruption. Disruption most of the time is when a new form of business comes and I wouldn't say destroy, it just changes the way all other businesses can conform to that. And these are mostly done by the Industrial Revolution. So the first Industrial Revolution happened probably in the 1700s. This is 17 blah, 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 somewhere there, where people started to do mostly farming. There was just farming with normal tools and things like that and whatnot. And then there was the steam engine, which was created by the time where people started to use the engine. Machines started to be made by the time, which made farmers work faster, or maybe some farmers did not get the jobs. Then you went to the second industrial revolution, which happened in the 1800s. By the time there was, there were new things which were made, which was from the steam engine itself or from the engine. Now we had electricity, now we had other forms of energy, we had oil, we had gas, we had These things just made work faster and made work easier. So if you have oil, you have electricity, then you already know you need things which are going to use electricity, which means everything is going to be formulated differently. So now you had the other people like the Nikola Tesla coming up with all the bulbs and everything. I mean, sorry, is it Nikola Tesla? Thomas Edison? I don't really care, but one of those really just did the bulb. Yeah, possibly Thomas Edison, I think so. Yeah, so by the time we had the light bulbs and everything, you had all the stories about how he broke 999 bulbs in order to make the 1001, which was the electricity bulb. That's by the time. So now we have electricity. We went to the third industrial revolution, where now we had computers. So if you have computers, now you have new work that was never there before. You have people who now can type fast. Besides the typewriters, you had people who you had colleges also who could do like secretarial courses and stuff like that. You had people who created softwares. So as much as I would say that jobs were gone, but jobs were made. I will explain that in the further note when we went into the fourth industrial revolution, which we are at now. That is when we have the internet. Now we have artificial intelligence. We have all these things happening, apps and stuff. Everybody's doing so much online. You have Instagram in the fourth industrial revolution. You have Twitter, you have social media. Everything is happening in the fourth industrial revolution. So now you have people who are like digital influencers. You have people who are, these digital agencies, people who are just going to be given a job to handle some Instagram account, to handle some Twitter account. That job never existed. That job just came about when this happened. So most of the people would say like, oh, machines are gonna come and take our jobs. No, you are the ones who made the machines, which means you are the ones who can actually create something better to actually sustain yourself. Things are moving very fast. You only need to move as faster. Charles Darwin definitely said survival for the fittest. If you're not fitter than a machine, I don't think you actually need to survive. You're not surviving. Things are really changing. You had makeup artists in the past who would have just one shop. Nowadays, people don't even have a shop. You just have your Instagram account or your Twitter account, and you're a makeup artist, and a very properly qualified one. You only given a phone call and you just go to somebody's house, do a makeup for them, and then you're done. That's an office. You only have your license and you're working. So all these jobs are created with the Industrial Revolution, and other jobs just kind of diminished. I wouldn't say, but they had to conform into different matters. Well, you would have other businesses which are going to disrupt other businesses, I would say. Like, let's say you have Uber, for example, which came and disrupted the whole format of using taxis. Now you have something which makes more people earn more than the other format, which just made a few people earn a lot if they were like that. Back in the days, you had to have a number of a boda boda, so bajaji, you're going to be doing a number, a taxi driver. You have to call them. Sometimes they're not even there. Sometimes they're sick. Sometimes they wouldn't pick up. Nowadays, it's just a click away. You click and you get whoever it is. It's a stranger, but the job is to drive you. So the changes are as much very positive, more than they are negative. And I would beg to differ when people say machines are going to take our jobs. I made a machine. I will destroy it. I will destroy you.
Yeah.
So I think after saying that, a few questions from people will already diminish. I do believe that's what's going to happen. So new questions are being formulated right now, and that's what I'm waiting for. Yes, thank you.
Okay, we do have a couple of questions already. And someone says, my question is, do you think we should continue to go to school and learn the theories invented 100 years ago to get our grades, or should we use wisely our noosphere to find in ourselves what is best for our bright future? I'm not sure what this person means by noosphere. This is from Hakizimana Mariam. But generally, did you get the question, or should I repeat it?
Yeah, I did. Well, simply he's asking if they should still go to school. And I think he believes it's a waste of time. Well, somehow it is a waste of time.
Be very careful. How you defend it.
Well, this is the thing. it is a challenge, not for the people, but a challenge for the education system. And I would say I've seen the government doing pretty well about that. It has seen this, and that's why we have new combinations, regardless. We have KFC. It has nothing to do with chicken, but it's there. So the government is really doing much because people are learning faster. Like a child who is 5 years old today knows exactly what somebody who was 10 or 12 years ago, 5 years ago knew, which means there's more ways to actually learn. So people are learning pretty fast, which means we have to make education pretty fast itself in order to have a lot of time because, okay, let's say the life expectancy of Tanzanians is about 53. And when you look at how long you're going to use at school, it's like 25. Yeah. So 25 years of your life you're going to be using in school. That's pretty much, you would say, a waste of time. So, but no, it's not a waste of time. You're actually learning everything that you're going to be using in order to survive in the whole street or whatever thing you're going to call it. But how do we make that not feel as useless as you feel right now? That is the real question I would put right here. If we say not going to school, trust me, that's going to be pretty bad. You have so many kids out there who are not even directed. There's so many things schools do which are more than just the intellectual education that you get to acquire from like physics, chemistry, or stuff like that. There's things like ethics. How do you live socially? How do you interact with other people? Communications and things like that. So I think people should still go to school, but we should challenge our education systems in order to be quite updated, just like how life is itself.
Yeah, we have another comment here from Eric J. And he asked, or rather, it's a question. He says, do you think Tanzania is still in the first form of industrial revolution? How can we move on? Are you stuck with Lima?
No.
Look at it.
No, we're not in the first industrial revolution. We're not, like, farming is not the backbone anymore. Farming is not the backbone of this country's economy anymore. You have so many things which are happening. You have entertainment now. You have artists. You have people who are doing all these softwares. You have telecoms. These are not things from the first industrial revolution. These are things from the third industrial revolution. So when you have companies which are running big telecoms like the Vodacom, the Tigo, the whatever, you have banks. Banks are getting in on a lot of things. You have beverage companies. These are not from the first industrial revolution, regardless of the fact that the material used to make what they're making is from the first industrial revolution. But still, I don't think we
in the first industrial revolution style.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much on the third, but we are like very slow. And that is because most people are not educated. You have about 60 million people in the country. And I don't know the statistics exactly of how many are educated, but well, we definitely know out of 10, only 2 are educated. Well, that puts at 20%. Yeah.
Idris, I think one of the opportunities that we see coming along with this jobs of the future, the wave of having jobs of the future, is the gig economy. And this gig economy relates to jobs that are freelance jobs, kind of jobs, like part-time jobs. You get your consultant, you get called on a short-term basis, or you work on something for a certain period of time, and when you're done, you move on to the next thing. There is no fixed employment structure. And I think the direction we're taking towards the future with the jobs and the kind of employment we're going to have in the next 10 years could be versatile. Now, as someone I know who is not fully employed, rather, correct me if I'm wrong, who is not fully employed, what are the opportunities in this sector? And I do believe that there are so many young people out here that believe that get out of school, and they say, they get out with the mindset that I don't want to be employed. I don't want to work full-time for someone. I want to make my own money. So you already got out of that structure, the 9 to 5 p.m. working structure. What are the opportunities in this industry, and what are the challenges in there? The gig economy, the part-time jobs, and the freelance.
Yes, priorities, I would say. This is mostly priorities. Most of the people, if I am running from, let's say, Mbezi to Posta once a week, and I would just run forward to Posta, and then after I get there, I need to get a car to drive me back to Mbezi, and then I'll be like, hey, I want to run with the biggest people of Olympics. Well, I'm really prepared to fail massively. See, that's what most people are doing. See, people are wrongly inspired. People are wrongly inspired. People are reading quotes differently. People are only reading what they like to read, or maybe they could read something and they will only understand what they want to understand of the thing. So when things like this happen, and people be like, hey, but Bill Gates dropped out of school. But hey, Steve Jobs dropped out. Well, how did they drop out? At what point did they know now is when I should drop out? These people who are always put out there as names of people who dropped out, they actually dropped out when their business was doing so well, such that school was interfering with the time that they had to put on their jobs. You're dropping out and you're going back to your parents' house, my friend. This is so depressing. It's just, it's so, I mean, you have every priority not properly aligned. And I think that's why you have a lot of people starting to find themselves as they're already in a huge confusion state. I mean, that's what you should do. You could be on a 9-to-5 job and you could actually create your own career. Besides that, you could be selling even juice at the office. You could even be doing anything. You could be a software designer, that you could be doing this thing on a weekend. You could do something. You have to just make sure you survive. I mean, how are you going to survive if you have any survival instincts? Dropping out is not the option. You just prioritize. Yeah.
So tell us, what does the world look like out here? You work in a space where you're freelance, you're a part-timer somewhere. I mean, how did you get to this mindset? And yes, you've already given that part of advice, that don't just drop out from school because someone inspired you, or you saw someone doing it and without a plan, rather. So what is it like out here in this freelance world, or what we call the gig economy? And how do you navigate through it?
So there's so much opportunity out here, pretty much. There's like so much. There's not even another word to put that. Abundant levels of opportunities. But at the same time, people are not seeing how they could see the opportunities. They're only seeing what other people are doing. So they're going to only, how do you even put it? Like, you would find so many people at one thing at the same time. So if they see Idris right now has just started like a jikoni business na anapika biryani, everybody anataka anzishe biryani, like that's what they think that needs to be done. They wouldn't see all the other options. They don't see everything. There's even a formula. The formula of you succeeding is see a problem, solve the problem, done. When you solve the problem, money follows you. But when people are following money, it never follows them. So you have so many people, come over, you told me about the gig sphere or the gig atmosphere that is happening. Is people are just sitting at home waiting for something to happen. But that is really not going to happen. At the same time, there are other people who are knocking on doors trying to find opportunities. Some people are actually looking at people's businesses, finding the problems in the businesses, and then creating their opportunities in the problems that were not even seen before. That is how you should be thinking about this. If I am a business analyst or if I am a business consultant, I'm not going to be waiting for somebody to find a problem in their company. I will find a problem in your company, and then I will come into your company and I'll say, you have a problem, pay me, I will solve your problem. So that is as much as a gig as other gigs, but the definition of a gig out there in the industry is just a little bit different. And I think that's why a lot of people are failing in massive.
More like they're waiting for phone calls to ring and be called to, hey, there's an opportunity here, or there's work to do here, but they're not looking for opportunities. They're waiting for someone to point out.
It will only happen if you're the best of the best. But how many of you are the best of the best? No.
Okay. Let me go over into the chat box. I see there's a lot of hot discussions going on here. I have, okay, we have a couple of comments here. Someone says, this is Otuk William, and he says, the problem with our education system is that it's very colonial. It is not contextualized in a way that prepares students to solve local problems. Okay.
I agree.
For me, the key word is very colonial.
And I mean, I understand what he's trying to say,
yes,
but not exactly with the same words, but I 50% of it is accurate.
It's accurate, true. And Lloyd Leslie says, with the current digital maturity in Tanzania, which weight, boxing analogy in brackets, are we likely to compete in this global stage? Digital maturity. How are we likely to compete in the global stage?
Well, see, if I am to be the founder of internet, it might take you a little bit longer to beat me at my thing. So if I am to compare myself, I cannot even compare because I started it unless you came and upgraded it. What we need to think of is not copy, because we only copy. And most of the time we copy the way it is from other spaces which were meant to communicate to other societies. You have your own society which needs to be communicated differently. It does not mean I don't know English, but you never see me speak English on my post or anything like that. It does not. I can only communicate what can be understood. So people are coming into the internet and all this digital maturity or whatever, how we're going to put it, and they want to compete with other people who are in the other section, but then your people here do not even understand you. So who are you really communicating to? You only have to localize your content most of the time. I would say localize it as best as you can. If your people can understand Arabic, make it 80% Arabic and put a little bit inclusivity. And nowadays you can even write your language in your things, and then the other people can just click translate and they could understand. You need to know your target market in order for you to know how you're going to thrive. If you don't have a target market and you're just going to be shooting around, they're also going to be shooting you around.
Yeah, very, very true what you just said. Someone else says, this is Coleman Coroso, and he says, in your opinion, what jobs or skills do you think will be more relevant in the next 5 to 10 years?
Software engineers. Yeah, software engineers.
So should we all drop out from KFC and start doing software engineering?
But I think, see, here's the thing. Now, I wouldn't even, I just said software engineers because pretty much that's what's happening right now. And also gamers, people are creating games, and also people are creating the gaming consoles besides the games themselves. Not a big thing in Africa, but it's a big thing in the world. Everybody right now would say, I have a PS5, and most people know about this. Or even the movies, people are moving into digital online streaming, the Netflix and the HBOs and the Disneys and everything. But here's the thing, and I don't think I've ever even been asked this thing before. The only way you can actually make so much money 5 years from now is looking at what is happening now and determining what will be the biggest problem 5 years from now. That will be the biggest money maker. You know, people, by the time when people started doing so much social media, companies started to create antidepressants. So 10 years later, you have people who are consuming so much antidepressants. Therapists are making so much money in the past 3 months because you have people who are coming into your office and be like, I was on Facebook and there's no likes. So these are problems, but they created new waves. So you could even have the same jobs right now, making more money in the future, but differently. Even teachers just need to find different ways. You don't have to get into a classroom. This might be a class. If you can create something like this and have your students and license your business this way, maybe you will have more students out there in the world. You have people who are Tanzanians, or you have people who are Kenyans, or whatever, people who want to learn Swahili, and they're actually out there in the diaspora or even in this COVID era, how are you going to teach them? Do you have to bring them in a class? You could be teaching them on a Zoom like this, or a whole conference, and you have your money, my friend. You just have to upgrade yourself in other ways, I would say.
So I think what you're trying to say is that anything to do with the digital space, if you can venture into that, find opportunities, find a problem, and find a solution to a problem that you're seeing that's there right now, or is likely to happen 5-10 years down the line. Look for ways to learn, or to, skills you can equip yourself with to create that solution. And that way you.
And one thing though, and one weird thing, food will be very expensive after 10 to 15 years, like the organic food, because we are really going away from that. Tanzanians are only eating organic food and we don't understand it. But if you go to South Africa, the tomato that you buy for 100 shillings here, you buy it for 1,500 shillings in South Africa, which means they were running faster and they started putting all these I don't know what you would call them, chemicals in their food and stuff and that and whatnot. So people, when they started doing all this advertisement about organic foods and which are natural, blah, 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 here and there. And Tanzanians are like, what do you mean organic? We only eat organic. We're like, yeah, we do eat organic. But then now people are only amazed. Why is this orange so big? Chemicals, my friend. You don't have it. You
then you have Tanzanians who look at the same, let's say, orange from South Africa and say, oh, that's better than my orange from just dropped out of a tree,
And now you have Tanzanians saying kuku wa kienyeji ni mgumu. I'm like, what? Wanataka kuku wa kisasa, but then later, wakianza kuona mifupa yao wenyewe, it's not working. Oh, wanaume have like these different morphologies. Woo! Then you understand that the problem.
All right, we have another comment from Elia Ezekiel, and he says it's a matter of mindset. We should be optimistic about career and roles of education and the role of education system. So that's his view. John Simon says, how do we fill the gap between the stage other countries are in and the stage we are technologically? I think we are missing something.
Speed.
Yeah. we're moving slowly, but as long as we're moving towards the right direction, I think we should be fine. We're fine. We're fine.
If you realize that we're missing something, that's a very good start. Then we can actually start to realize where we can actually create it and move forward faster.
And then he says, can we move into this is Moses Sheila, can we move into realistic questions? I kindly would ask, how do we really act to get to success? Like real steps, not motivations and history structures. Okay. This is his opinion, Moses Sheila. And then we have Innocent Grant, and he says, Idris, farming is still a backbone. Kombali. And then we have Haruna Dianabo. He says, so Idris, what do you have to say about the ecosystem of job functionality? Will it be based on product output or value intake on the consumer side?
Product output, value intake. No, it's the output. It's not value intake. At this point right now, everything is mass, not quality.
Where we're headed, in my opinion, also, just sorry to cut you short, it's going to be about the value you bring, whether it's the service or it's a product that you're putting out there for people to buy or to use. People are now going to be looking for the value. What are they gaining out of it? How is your product or service making them feel? That will determine whether they want to buy it or engage with it or not. If you just focus on mass production, where we're heading, because information is going to be, on our fingertips, more information, so they can track you down, and they are able to they have more options because everyone is now producing more efficiently and faster. So you're likely to just be dumped because you're simply producing and not having the consumer's interest in mind. So if you focus on the value and what it brings to them, you win. In my
it's how you say it. It's all marketing propaganda sometimes. Sometimes it's not what you give them, it's what you told them that it will give them that really matters. It's all about.
And we have also from Joseph Muganga, he says, I don't think if the purpose of schooling, not education, but schooling was to educate, but to create community of workers. In order to create a community which can be governed, it is very important to create institutions which will prepare people to be governed. That is why schooling is not ending tomorrow. It's not quite clear, but maybe you got.
Well, I got what he's trying to say, but
yeah.
I think, no, I know what he's trying to say. I mean, but I don't think he put it correctly. All in all, it's the ideology behind what you take, because at the same time, the same people who come from the same school succeed, and the same people who come from the same school fail, but they were taught the same thing. This might even go back to your houses. We are being told, go study and get a job and come help your family. Nobody told you go study, create something, bring a revolution, do something new. Nobody was told this. Everybody's just get a job, come back, secure yourself, be a doctor, be a pilot, this and that. So that, I think that's probably the ideology of families and society generally, but not really school, because whatever it is that's in there, that's what everybody's using to succeed, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, moving over into the question. I have Shedi Roshan, and he's asking, is education a product for us to get employed, or a product for us to use to employ and empower ourselves? And is our education system up to par in the current world development situation?
No, it's not up to par, but that's the upgrade that needs to be done. And
that's the missing thing.
And that's what we're actually doing right now. Yes.
Which part of technology should we invest? This is from Arnold Mwampoma.
Which part of technology?
We invest in, I think that's what he's trying to say.
I think so.
I don't know, where's that?
Arnold, can you please elaborate your question?
Okay. Which part of technology? The soft hard, what?
The soft...
Floppy disks. Let's invest in floppy disks.
Yeah.
Okay, Kevin Bategereza says, where do you see the technology sector in Tanzania? And with the involvement of artificial intelligence and machine learning, does Tanzania have a chance in creating its own robots?
Yes, actually, there's a lot of people, young masterminds I've seen create amazing things. We're only lacking funding, and there's that thing that our other competitors are doing pretty well. I'd not even have to go far. Just Kenya itself is doing pretty well on that part, because they're getting proper funding from outside. You know, the likes of the Y Combinators and everything, this mass funding, angel investors and everything. We don't have those. You have somebody who's gonna create like a little robot, and all they're gonna do is land on Millardayo. And then after that, people are like, oh, you created something. And then, okay, now we move. Like, there's nothing that's going to be done. So we might need to find ways to fund these people properly in order for these projects to move forward, because they're smart. We're just not enabling them properly. True. So we are in the right space. We just need the funding.
True. We have so many questions. I'm just going to run through over them quickly. What this is, he says, Abdul Majid Mustafa, how can we as Tanzanians catch up with the fast evolving world nationwide and individually?
How? Tanzanians, what?
How can we as Tanzanians catch up with the fast evolving world nationwide and individually? How do we catch up with the changes in the world that are happening?
Yeah, this is very general, but just to also generalize it, I would say get what you're learning and then learn a little bit more. That's what you really need to take from this. Now you have the likes of the internet right now. So if you want to do something, test a lot of things. And if it goes out to the parents, test your kids to a lot of things until you see something that they sparks inspiration to them. As us ourselves, we need to see how to make upgrades onto other things. You have so many people who are doing upgrades on some stuff, but you would have like, okay, let's say like kama hapa alichukua uji ambao tulikuwa tunakunywa kawaida. Everybody was actually drinking normal porridge, but nobody would think that he would bring some porridge and just name it Wakanda, put a lot of stuff inside, and you go like, no, this tastes good. So there's that. So you only have upgrade what you have and then create new things. That's the only way we can actually go with the other one. But let's be original. That's the most important thing. You can only put your culture out there, but you cannot bring somebody else's culture and expect to thrive. Yeah. It's not possible.
It's not going to work. We are having so many questions. I think just keep them coming. We'll ask them. towards the end, we're going to have another session of Q&A. Right now, I want also Idris to tell us, as in your opinion, working in your opinion and with experience working in the creative industry, what do you think the future of the creative industry look like in Tanzania and generally in the world? What opportunities will it present? Because we have so many people entering the creative space now, as you know, comedians, actors, actresses, you know, we have social media superstars now. They're only famous on social medias. So what does the future look like? What opportunities are in this creative space? And yeah, what should people expect and how best should they be prepared? Yeah.
I wanted to say thank God for the internet, but I don't think he created it. So I think the internet man for the internet. The internet has done a lot of things. I remember back in the days, information is key all the time. So if you don't know something, you literally just don't know something until somebody tells you. But maybe we're not using the information properly, or no, we're not going exactly where we need to go. But with the industry right now, the creative one, we are really moving fast. And that's because we can see what's happening out there. If somebody's going to do something right now in Nashville or Israel or anywhere, or even Russia, we can see it like right now, as they've already put it. So at that point, we already know that we can actually do something positively moving forward. We can copy, or we can localize it, or we can see something that's happening, or we can just see if this is going to work with our society. And all that is definitely working on our advantage. You have people going on TikTok right now, and that's placing even, you have local people, I would say like local comedians, or even local artists as musicians, or any creative person, or anybody at home that feels a little bit creative and you had no career, and all of a sudden you have a career on the social media. And that's because you posted one TikTok, and then the world saw it, and then they liked you, and then they wanted more content from you. So this has placed us in a form whereby people don't really deserve anymore to say that we're not given the platform. What platform do you need? I mean, there is the platform. So if you cannot use that platform, I think you're the problem. And you just need to find out ways in order for you to thrive in the whole thing. So creatives have the best moment in their lives right now, honestly. We can see something happening today, and you can do it tomorrow. And that's literally with a finger tap. I mean, I just saw somebody do something, then tomorrow I want to do the same. So I think, yeah, there is a good space right now.
It is a good space. And maybe what skills does someone need now in case they're thinking of now getting into this space of the creative world? What skills do they need for them to kickstart their career?
I think you don't even need skills. This is one of the best things ever.
I mean,
God, I don't know. I would make people feel like, oh my God, that's my job. You need skills. But no, I mean, I have this procedure whereby you could always come as zero and just look and see what people are doing, and then do the same again and again and again and again until you start doing your thing. I mean, that's literally the only skill you need, is to actually acquire the information properly, or create it properly, or visualize. I mean, there's no, skills are changing every day. You don't even know what skill you need in order to be better at creativity. All you need is to acquire more information about what other creatives are doing. And I don't even know what skill that is. That's called read, or look, or watch, or listen. I mean, if you have those, or any one of those, I think you're good. I mean, if you can hear, you can see, you can talk, or you can, like, even if one thing, I know blind people who are doing amazing stuff in the creative thing. It's because they could just hear. I mean, if you have one of those senses, oh no, the testing one is useless. Trust me. But all the other senses,
be surprised.
They would surprise you in the creative world. Yes.
So great, Idris. So I want us to shift a bit and move to the platform economy. Now we've seen a huge growth in most of platforms that are brought out there. For example, Zoom, you know, TaxFi, Uber. And sasa, when we imagine Tanzania, how do you see Tanzania youth positioning themselves into the platform economy that right now is actually taking over, and we see like they're growing very fast?
See, we're lacking one thing that's massive, and that's originality. That's why we're barely making money from this whole platform of internet economically. So, I mean, who says making money economically? My God, that was a very wrong statement. Making money generally, yeah. So making money, we're not. We're making money on platforms that are already created, like let's say YouTube. You're making money through the Facebooks and stuff like that. And I wouldn't have a clear path or answer on that one, but I would take you back to what I said. These people who created these platforms that you have mentioned realized problems where they were, and they only made them better. I mean, they only made the space feel better. I want to get a cab at 3 a.m. in the morning. I have no number to call of a cab. Who am I going to call? See, with that thought, you can create something. You can create a space whereby somebody can call a cab at 3 a.m. in the morning. So we have other problems in our society that we need to correct that could definitely take us forward faster. But all we are doing right now, which really pisses me off, is creating what is already created and just making it like ours. I mean, what? Well, we will make money, but not in the long run. We're not going to be competitively large, but we just need to think of the problems in our society and solve them. I mean, that's pretty much where the first thought needs to come from.
Okay, great. But yeah, but also, do you feel that, as you said, most times we miss out like what's the real problem? So you'd find, as you actually say, like one of jobs that you think maybe will be actually taking over in next 10 years is the software engineers. And so you'd find that maybe someone, because knows to code, so you just sit with your laptop and you just start coding, but not really focusing on what problem are you really actually focusing at. So you code and you have an amazing platform, but when you take it to the market out there, you are actually not really solving the specific issue or problem. So I think it's also trying to actually align with that. It's not more of just you just know how to code, but what problem are you really focusing at? Yes. Amazing, yeah, kabisa. So there is also an amazing question out here. The world's population has witnessed the rise of big data being used in economies to benefit both customers and service providers. As a young entrepreneur in Tanzania, is this something you've been taking into account? If so, what challenges do you face?
Big data.
And yes, anonymous, kabisa.
Well, big data is a whole thing. There's a whole phase of that. There's also security of your whole data on the social media or online or whatever, or even in your phone. That's a problem. We have the iClouds now. We have the cloud that is happening, that is storing a lot of data. Is it safe? I don't know. Well, that's a whole debate on it. So the whole data world at this point, we do not need to put so much into it. We only need to find a space in order to secure our own data on the platforms, or rather than just be walking around killing drives and everything, and in order to hold on into everything. But that's not even happening. Do we have even our cryptocurrency? Is that even working with us? Well, there is a few things which are happening, but why are we always following next? I mean, that's also another problem. We're really, this is another question, but it's the same question. It's the same question of what are we doing that they're doing? I mean, it's only compared to what's already done that we're going to do. Is there a problem to where we can store our data now? I mean, is it a problem? I mean, I have my phone, I have the iCloud, I also have Google Photos, you have the Google servers, you have the Amazon servers, you have also the Google servers themselves. I mean, is it a problem that Google said, hey, we don't have enough space for you, African, that you need to create your own? I mean, that's also another part of it. I don't think it's a problem to us. We're discussing, we're discussing the wrong thing really at this point. We're so small discussing something so big, which would not matter to 80% of the Tanzanians. Like 80% of the Tanzanians don't even have data enough to store. Literally. Watu wanatumia USSD, mtu ana kitochi. What data is he gonna store? Well, what's the other problem right now? I think it's too big for us. I mean, it's not our problem. Yeah. It's not our problem at this point. Like if you say Black Lives Matter, well, okay. Is it our problem? I mean, we are all black. We are all black. It is a big problem. Yeah. So I don't think that's our problem. I don't think big data is our problem.
Okay, great. There is an amazing comment here. Referring to Idris' point regarding copy and paste ideas. For example, if my industry is pets and my audience are pet owners, I will not only sell pet products, these are some of the ways you can make some money. So start a pet blog and all YouTube channel, launch a pet grooming service, create a specialty pet product subscription box, make a pet product review account on social media, open a marketing and PR company for companies in the pet space, develop a pet tracking app. My point is you don't have to carry some models or ways of making money, even if you are all selling the same product. Example, Birihani.
Well, that is true. That is true. I hope that business thrives if people are even searching for their pets. Only one person searched for their pet when it was gone.
I mean, it's quite a thing in Tanzania. Oh, it is these days.
Just once, I don't know. Do people buy pets now? People's like, hey, did your dog give birth? Okay, I'm coming.
I'm coming to have one.
Yeah, okay, I think we're out of time and we still have a lot to talk about. It's very unfortunate that this was a very big topic and we're little people trying to crack it down. But I believe that you will leave this room with something that is extra, something extra added to your knowledge, to what you knew before. I believe you've learned something from the points given by Idris and from the whole discussion and the questions that were raised. We still have so many more comments and questions. I think we will find a way to put this up. We still have other platforms where we can put this as a discussion and share and further discuss it. We have another Empower Academy coming up. We have Yellow Couch session. If you're a follower of our social media channels, we have a platform called Yellow Couch where we discuss different issues. So we will be able, Miranda says maybe Idris will come back, maybe if he's willing to join us and continue breaking this topic further, we'll be happy to host him. Lakini, I would like to just thank you all for joining us. We've had a tremendous fun discussion. Idris, is there anything, any final words you would like to share with our attendees? Any goodbye takeaway points?
Yes. When I was 16 years old, I created a formula for success because somebody.
Did you throw it in the sea? Put it in a bottle?
Not even that one. It was this. There was this quote that said, "I can tell you how to succeed. Try to impress everyone." I mean, I was like, but I can still tell you how to succeed. Well, regardless of the irony of that. And the best way for you to succeed is 3 things, actually. I know everybody says like 3, 5, 10, everybody has their own. I mean, 3 things for you to be able to succeed. You need knowledge, you need courage, and then you need the other thing, which is personality. Most people overlook that, but you need all of them 3 in order for you to succeed. You need to know what you're doing in order to be able to do it. You need courage in order to see the opportunities and go for them. And you need the personality in order to keep the job when you have it. That's all you need to succeed. So knowledge, and then you have courage, and then you have the personality. That's it. You can succeed with all that. Pretty much that's all. Otherwise, ungeambiwa Tanzania wataka kujua, hawataka kujua. Ungeniuliza hamna kitu nataka kujua. Wache niwashauri nini?
Probably you have like a formula XY plus C square is equal to.
But to me, Pythagoras, that's cool.
Yeah. So thank you so much once again, Idris. This has been great having you in this session. If God wishes, we would love to host you in another time. We can allocate maybe a part 2 of this session, because I see we have so many pending questions and pending comments that we did not address. So also thank you all to our viewers and attendees. It's been great having you, all of you. I can't mention you all by names. You're so many. Thank you, Felix. Thank you, Alex Mkwizu. Thank you, Adeline Makule. Thank you, Anna Cleuch Sanga, Amos Ngavo, Amina Abdul, Chichi, Daniel Mwemba. So many of you that have joined us here. This has been fun, and kudos to you. Until next time, I would urge you to continue following our social media pages. We have lots of interesting conversations going on, interesting topics and opportunities to share with you. If you're young professionals looking to kickstart your career, we have job opportunities for you, and we are more than happy to help you. You need help with screening, you want to be interviewed, we'll be happy to do that for you. So there's so many ways to engage with us. Visit our website, www.empower.co.tz. You can call us or email us, and we'll be happy to help you whenever we can. So we're gonna type in our email address on the comment box, on the chat box. And if you have any issues that you would like to ask us, anything you'd like to discuss with us, any ideas, or any way we can help you with your career journey in your organization, we'll be happy to do so. Until next time, it was great hosting you. Nancy Bogoro and Pius, we are signing out. This session will be available on our social media platforms as well. We're going to post it on YouTube and on Instagram. So if you missed out on this session, don't worry. It's going to be available for you to revisit and watch. So asanteni sana. Feel free to interact and engage with anyone you know online. But this will be all from us.
Bye.
Bye. And asanteni sana. Until next time, I think in April, end of this month, we'll be having another Empower Academy. So stay tuned. We will be hosting another awesome and epic Empower Academy. So stay tuned. Yeah, watch this space. Yeah. Thank you so much. Those who are commenting to us. Eric Dos, thank you. Thank you as well. Joseph thank you.
Country Director.
Yes. Thank you. Amina Abdul also. She says thank you. Frank Charles also says amazing session. Thank you so much. John Simon says thank you always. We also thank you. Moses Sheila says umetisha sana na wewe, asante. Maurice Agaton from Genema here, goodbye. Django Boy says thank you. We also thank you very much. Adeline Makule says thank you so much for this amazing session. Thank you for joining us, Adeline. Justin says thanks a lot. We also thank you. Gladson Thomas, tunafanya lini tena. End of this month, just watch this space. Tutakuwa tena tunarudi na Empower Academy nyingine with a new speaker and a different topic. Amazing. So don't plan to miss. Matthias Juma says nimepata kitu. Chichi says thanks. We thank you. Fahad says that was wonderful. Thank you. It was I was following so many comments. Thank you. I was following in the middle of a meeting and I'm glad I didn't miss this. Thank you, Rhoda. Jungu says should be 2 hours for the next session. Sawa, we'll consider that. And then we have Lillian. She says looking forward to more people. Thank you so much. We look forward to hosting more people as well. Alex says we appreciate what you're doing to the youth. We also, this is our passion. This is what we do. Yeah. So thank you for really taking the time to join us. It means a lot to us. And Hikimazimana says can't wait to be a part of the next one. Grateful. Gladson says Instagram account zenu na email please. Sawa, we're typing that into the chat box as well. I have something to share with you. Thank you, Gladson. We will be sharing that into the chat box. No space. Yeah, so our Instagram, just to highlight, you can contact us. This is our number, +255 758 778 886. Q's is going to type that into the chat box. That's our phone number, +255 758 778 886. And our email address is info@empower.co.tz, info@empower.co.tz. And our website is www.empower.co.tz. You can connect with us on our social media platforms, on Twitter @Empower Limited. So it's Empower and LTD. So Empower with the word, the initials LTD, Empower LTD. On Instagram, you can catch us on Empower Limited. So it's Empower and the word limited as one word. On Facebook, it's @Empower Limited, and on YouTube @Empower Limited. So all this will be on the chat box. Feel free to connect with us and we will holler back at you.